Live look out in Bentonville. What a beautiful shot, that sunrise. And Danny, I feel like that's just kind of a precursor for the day. It's going to be a beautiful day out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. It's not like, you see it looks beautiful out there and you walk out and you're like, oh, why am I outside?
And that's been a lot this summer.
Yes, it looks pretty and it's going to feel pretty. But at the end of this week, it might be a little bit of a different story. But we'll talk about the present right now. We'll enjoy the beginning right now. You are seeing maybe a little bit of some orange hue out there. There is a little bit of wildfire smoke aloft, but the air quality is okay. It could be a little better, but I think for the most part, we avoided the worst of it. The worst of it was off to the north and staying off to the north into portion of the Great Lakes region. This is from Canada. You're seeing that red as well as some purples there with the unhealthy and maybe as high as the very unhealthy. What we're going to have to watch for is wildfires right now in the Arizona region as well as kind of along the west coast. Some of that making its way here. You notice this is the upper part of the atmosphere. These arrows and that smoke will rise, get caught at about a couple miles above us, and then wherever the flow goes, that's where the smoke goes. And you notice the air is revolving clockwise around this high pressure, and you notice these arrows, if you follow along here, basically slamming us right here into portion of northwest Arkansas and the river valley. So eventually some of that will make its way here, not today, but possibly as early as Tuesday night. So the remnants of that will leave by this afternoon. So really not only elevated, but at the surface, we're not expecting any much of an issue for that smoke. As we head through the day tomorrow, really not too shabby. But here comes Tuesday afternoon. Here's 5 o'clock. You notice some of that starting to make its way through eastern Oklahoma. And then eventually the thicker smoke will arrive early Wednesday morning. Now we'll have to see how much of this does reach the surface. But at any rate, I think a lot of it will stay elevated no matter what. We could see some hazy skies on Wednesday and possible air quality reductions, and something we'll have to definitely keep an eye on as we get closer to Wednesday and beyond. Another thing that'll be happening for us is we're going to see a little bit of a ramp up of the dew points. We're going to see those dew points in the mid to upper 60s eventually Wednesday through Friday. For today, it'll be in the low to mid 60s, so not too shabby, but it will get a little bit muggier. Combine that with the fact that temperatures are slowly on the rise due to that northwest flow, due to that high pressure slinging us over. It is going to heat up by the end of the week. We could see as early as Wednesday those heat indices in the triple digits. For Thursday, maybe widespread in the triple digits, and especially on Friday, we could see maybe some heat advisories, and that could continue for the weekend. Currently, right now, we're not seeing anything on live Doppler radar. You're seeing that kind of green little dispersion. Again, that's just bugs and birds being caught. There is quite a bit of a complex off to our west in Texas, but that will stay off to our west. We're kind of trapped here with that cold front that moved in from the north on Thursday. That is still stalling out in Louisiana. What this is all going to do is basically lock us into very light winds, pretty quiet conditions, but could lead to maybe a stray shower or two. We'll show you that on future casts. You're going to notice that during the morning and early afternoon, nothing too crazy. For today, I think about 90 to 95% of us stay dry, but you can't rule out a stray shower or two. So this is for, those that are saying, well, you just said it didn't get to rain today. I didn't say that. I said maybe. But again, vast majority of us are going to stay dry. You might be wondering, why do you even mention rain? Again, I think a good majority of us stay dry, but that chance is there. So it will be there for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. However, most of us stay dry. Otherwise, the bigger story is we do warm back up. Those highs in the mid 90s for northwest Arkansas. Then for the River Valley, highs in the mid to upper 90s. Again, Friday looks like kind of the hotter day for us. So it looks nice to start the week, a little bit hotter to end the week, and rain chances for the most part are pretty minimal to none.
I kind of feel like usually by this time of the year, we're already seeing a lot of heat advisories, but I guess it's just now August, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, and eventually, as we head towards mid-August, that's when the high temperatures, climatologically speaking, start to drop. We're still in that hottest time of the year. I'm sure it's still going to be hot probably through September.
Yeah.
But, for this brief meanwhile, it feels pretty nice.
Yeah, it does. Not bad at all. All right, let's